Happy October, Mundo Monday friends! A lot of places get spooky in the month of October, and it's all in good fun, you know. In fact, there are so many interesting monster stories all over the world that we're going to make this October Mundo Monday's Monster Month. When we shared world folklore this summer, it was fun to compare stories about monsters like giants and dragons and ogres that are told all over the world. But this month we're going to spotlight monsters that are unique to particular cultures. Monsters you might not have heard of before if you're not a part of that culture. September 15th to October 15th is Latinx Heritage Month, so we'll pull our first featured monster from Latin America, El Chupacabras. Stories about chupacabras, compared to stories about dragons and giants that stretch back into ancient times, are relatively recent. They only started about 25 years ago in Puerto Rico, after something kept attacking the farm animals. And one woman who had recently watched a scary monster movie thought she saw that scary monster outside. A radio DJ called the creature El Chupacabras, which means goat sucker. And soon stories about this vampire creature drinking the blood of goats and other farm animals spread all throughout the American South and down through Mexico and Central America. Eat goats. I can't help it, that's the voice I always did when I read the Princess in Black stories to my kids. In this great series of easy chapter books by Shannon and Dean Hale, the Princess in Black battles monsters who like to eat goats. That monster is far too big and fuzzy to be a chupacabras. This is a chupacabra. Or maybe this is. It is definitely bony and hairless though. In fact, scientists think that most chupacabra sightings are actually of coyotes or wild dogs with mange, a skin disease that makes their hair fall out. So maybe chupacabras aren't real, but that doesn't stop people from telling scary stories to frighten their goats. And maybe those aren't even so scary after all. The chupacabra ate the candelabra. By Marc Tyler Nobleman, illustrated by Anna Aranda. This is their beautiful home. We got 3 goats, Jenna, Bumsy, and Pep, and a chupacabra. As the sun set, the goats met. Tonight could be the night, Jaina said. The night the chupacabra comes for dinner. On such short notice? But we have nothing prepared, Bumsy said. By the way, what's chupacabra? Let's put it this way. He would not join us for dinner. He would eat us for dinner. How impolite, Pep said. What does the chupacabra eat for breakfast? Bumsy said. Goats, Jaina said. For lunch? More goats. No veggies, Pep said, shaking his head. Not healthy. I know how we can save ourselves, Bumsy said. Wait, can the chupacabra climb trees? I hear he can, Jaina said. Besides, you can't. Right, Bumsy said, so I'll just stick with being frightened. Come on, goats, Jaina said. I say we find the chupacabra before he finds us. I say we scare him off before he eats us. Who's with me? Nobody answered. I said, who's with me? Silly, Bumsy said. Everyone is right here. I mean, who's going with me? I would, Pep said, but it's too dark. Not with this, Jaina said, whipping out a candelabra. You see it with all the little candles on it. Listen up, Jaina said. Bravest in the back, most frightened in front. Don't you mean most frightened and back? Bumsy said. No, Jaina said. If the most frightened isn't back, he'll have no one to watch behind him. Line up! Bravest in back, me and the candelabra in front, Bumsy said. The goats filed nervously across the plains. Just how are we going to scare the chupacabra? Pep said. There's a lot of us and only one of him, Jaina said. That's all I thought of so far. Soon Bumsy felt something other than grass underfoot. A mat. Welcome! Ha! That mat won't fool us, Jaina said. It's a trap. The trap is delicious, Bumsy said. You know what else is delicious? A voice said from the darkness. The chupacabra jumped out. Eek! The goats called out. Poof! The lights went out. The candelabra was gone. The chupacabra ate the candelabra! He swallowed it whole, Pep said. But I thought the only thing he eats is goats, the chupacabra said. Candelabras are my third favorite thing. Did you bring more? I'm still hungry. I'm always hungry. Sorry, we didn't, Jaina said. Then whatever shall I eat next? The chupacabra said. I recommend veggies, Pep said, and chewing. Or, Bumsy said, we could get you another candelabra. Oh, would it be any trouble? Not at all. We'll be back, Bumsy said, with me in the back. The goats headed home to worry. That was the only candelabra I had, Jaina said. But if we feed him more, maybe he won't eat us, Bumsy said. We have to find another candelabra, Pep said, or else... Nice place you have here, the chupacabra said, stepping out of the sunlight. Ay, caramba! The goats shrieked. I came by just to tell you that I'm more in the mood for my second favorite thing to eat. Might you mean weeds? Jaina said. If so, it's I mean, you're a lucky day. No, the chupacabra said. What I crave are cucarachas. And what do you know? Here comes one now. The chupacabra snatched it up and gulped it down. The chupacabra ate the cucaracha. Might you have any more? The chupacabra said. We don't, I'm afraid, Jaina said. I'm also afraid, Bumsy said, scampering off. No cucarachas, no candelabras, the chupacabra said. We're sorry again, Jaina said. No problem, Chupacabra said, because you do have my favorite thing to eat. Jaina and Pep shuddered. Please let that be weeds, Pep said. Would I come all this way for weeds? No, my favorite thing to eat is... a candelabra? Bumsy said, scampering back. Thank God I found one. Oh, but that's my third favorite thing to eat, remember? A cucaracha, Pep said, spotting one on the ground. Just in time. But that's my... second favorite thing to eat, we know, Jaina said. But here's an idea. If you eat your third and second favorite thing at the same time, it might taste even better than your favorite thing. The chupacabra tried it. The chupacabra ate the candelabra and the cucaracha. Thank you for the suggestion, the chupacabra said. But that was gross. The chupacabra straightened up and smacked his lips. As I was saying, my favorite thing to eat is... cheese! The goat sighed with relief. There's a lot of us and only one of you, Jaina said. You'll have so much goat cheese you'll never be hungry. But I'm always hungry, Chupacabra said, so I'll eat anything. Bumsy's relief was brief. Does that include anyone? Not friends, of course, just everything else. The whole chimichanga. You mean the whole enchilada? Pep said. That too, the Chupacabra said, finishing off his 18th piece of goat cheese, plus the plate and the napkin. And he's quite full now. Well, I don't know that. That Chupacabra wasn't anything to be scared of. He only wanted goat cheese. But Chupacabras don't really eat goat cheese, do they? Maybe. It's actually the goats you need to be scared of. I mean, have you seen a goat eat? This book is called El Chupacabras by Adam Rubin and Crash McCreary. There he is. Does he look that scary? This book is written in English and Spanish, but not like a lot of books you see where they're written in English and Spanish. That'll have like the English line and then the Spanish line. This one is blended together. But most of the time the Spanish words are included in such a way that even if you don't know Spanish, you can figure it out from context, as in the other words around it and what's happening at the time, and also because the Spanish words don't sound that different from the English words. So pay attention, and you might just learn some Spanish with this book too. And then you can show off to Miss Shelley on Escuelita Day. El Chupacabras. This all happened a long time ago in una granja de cabras. That is a granja de cabras. Can you see what it is? It's a farm of, can you guess from context? Goats! There lived a young girl llamada Carla con su padre, a farmer llamado Héctor. Héctor liked goats, pero Carla preferred las bicicletas. Cada mañana, Carla woke with the sun and prepared the breakfast for the goats. Héctor would milk the goats and brush the goats and sing to the goats too. All of the goats estaban gordas y felices. One night, Héctor and Carla heard a suspicious sound. Carla thought it was Héctor, and Héctor pensó que había sido Carla. It went the goats. A la mañana siguiente, one of the goats había desaparecido. Carla rode her bicycle across the whole farm para buscar a la cabra. What she found was a goat pancake. Dijo la cabra. When Héctor saw the goat pancake, he knew what had happened. El Chupacabras, said Héctor. La leyenda dice que el Chupacabras was a terrifying beast. But really? El Chupacabras was a tiny gentleman. He wore a bow tie and drank chocolate with churros. Of course, once in a while, le gustaba chuparse un cabra. Héctor was furioso. The flower lady heard the racket from the road. Listen, farmer, dijo la dama de las flores, you should try a little magic dust. It will protect your hermosas cabras. Try it. Ay, dijo Héctor. Héctor sprinkled the magic dust sobre cada una de las cabras. Achoo! said the goats. Salud, dijo Carla. Héctor handed la bolsa vaxa to the flower lady. Poco? gasped the flower lady. I said un poquito! La tierra comenzó a temblar violentamente. Las cabras transformed into giants! The gigantic goats began to destroy everything and nobody could stop them. De repente, Carla tuvo una idea. Chupacabras! Socorro! yelled Carla as she pedaled through the forest. She was so scared, she fell off her bicycle. ¿Qué pasó? dijo the goat sucker. Gigantic goats, dijo Carla. You have to stop them antes de que destroyen el pueblo. Sí, I will suck the goats, for I am the goat sucker, and that is what I do. Carla y el Chupacabras arrived at the town justo a tiempo. The goat sucker leaped onto the nose of one monster. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis. All of the creatures were sucked down to side. Excepto, por supuesto, el Chupacabras. Fortunately, the town did not suffer any permanent damage. Héctor had to fix everything, pero la dama de las flores helped him. Carla spent many happy years on the farm with her father and his new friend. Pero, de vez en cuando, she would find a goat pancake. Of course, no one got mad at El Chupacabras anymore. y todos vivieron felices para siempre, including the goats. Well, okay. I don't think I'm quite so afraid of chupacabras anymore. But what will we learn about next week on Mundo Monday's Monster Month?